Did you know that the prototype of Glamrock Freddy is probably the original and not a prototype? There are many things that confirm this theory, so let's explore everything you didn't know about Glamrock Freddy and Help Wanted 2. Firstly, Glamrock Freddy does not have a hard mode. We usually have this mode when we remove Banny's masks, but this time it serves more as a tutorial explaining to beginners how the game works. In the Glamrock Freddy level, we played inside a quite frozen storage room, and apparently this place is where all the Pizzaplex food was stored. It is even believed that the endoskeleton we find frozen in Security Bridge comes from here. Also in this level, we find one of the flaws that Glamrock Freddy has. The animatronic tends to overheat after a while, requiring our help to cool down. Of course, this flaw turns him into a quite violent animatronic, just like he used to attack us in Security Bridge when his battery ran out. The fact that Glamrock Freddy attacks us if his temperature rises is probably a reference to one of the mechanics used in Custom Night. There, Freddy Fazbear is one of the animatronics affected if the temperature rises too much, changing his temperament and becoming more aggressive. It's practically the same thing that happens with Glamrock Freddy in this game. If we want him to fail, we simply need to increase the temperature, and his temperament will change completely. The design of Glamrock Freddy for this game had to be optimized to avoid causing too much lag, due to all the polygons it used. It's quite curious that all the repairs that Glamrock Freddy needs are done in the middle of the Mega Pizzaplex storage room. In Security Bridge, it was mentioned that it was quite dangerous to operate on Glamrock Freddy, providing the perfect justification for the animatronic to be able to kill us. Of all the animatronics we see in Help Wanted, Glamrock Freddy is the only one that does not have this kind of dirt on his texture, being the only animatronic that is completely clean. The repair game for Glamrock Freddy reminds us a lot of the mechanic seen for repairing Boney. We have to remove Glamrock Freddy's eyes in the same way as Boney, and we also have to open his belly, just like we did to Freddy Fazbear in the original Help Wanted. One funny thing is that after opening Freddy's stomach, we can see a close-up shot of the space in his belly, indicating that the gap is too small for Gregory to fit in. Still, it was quite interesting to see. Inside Freddy's stomach, we can also find a birthday cake. This explains why this compartment is reserved, suggesting that Gregory couldn't fit there, because this space is only for birthday cakes and surprise gifts. Something amusing is that within this minigame, we have the option to remove the birthday cake from Freddy's stomach. We need to use a cooling gun to clean the animatronic's compartments, but Freddy gets angry with us and demands that we put the cake back in its place. That's why we have a replacement cake in case the original one gets spoiled. The reason Glamrock Freddy doesn't want us to change the birthday cake is because this cake is special for a child named Jimmy, who possibly would celebrate his birthday inside the pizzeria. And as we all know, Freddy cares a lot about the children, so he simply makes sure that the cake arrives safely with the child. Speaking of the child to whom the cake belongs, it's not exactly known who this Jimmy is, but some fans speculate that it could be a child mentioned in the Five Nights at Freddy's books, in the story of the Monty winning. Of course, this is not confirmed, it's just a theory. In Five Nights at Freddy's Security Bridge, when Casey enters a portal leading to another place within the abandoned pizzeria, there's an almost imperceptible audio cue. If we pay close attention, we can hear Glamrock Freddy singing a birthday song.
Happy Fazbear birthday, pizza, games and cakes. Open all your presents until your tummy aches.
It's quite possible that this song was the one Freddy would sing to Jimmy after delivering his cake. A funny detail from Glamrock Freddy is that, besides being very concerned that the cake arrives completely intact, the replacement cake we have misspells Jimmy's name, and now says Timmy. In fact, some fans also speculate that Timmy could be another child mentioned in the books, especially in the story of You Are the Band. But this also has no solid basis, so we'll leave it as a great mystery. The next curiosity is sure to make many people happy. If you didn't know, Glamrock Freddy's nose can be squeezed. If we press it, it makes a new plush sound, referring to the fact that Freddy's nose could be squeezed in previous games, from plushies to posters from Five Nights at Freddy's 4. While doing the necessary repairs to Glamrock Freddy, and since we removed his eyes, bright red eyes will appear between his eye sockets. After this, if we press his nose, Glamrock Freddy will open his mouth very forcefully, causing a big scare to many players. And one detail that many have reconsidered after the repairs to Glamrock Freddy is whether this animatronic is a prototype. Compared to all the animatronics found in Security Breach, Glamrock Freddy has been the only one that has consistently had several failures. Now with this minigame, everything seems clearer. As a curious fact, Glamrock Freddy mentions in Security Breach, upon seeing a bunch of hidden endoskeletons inside the Pizzaplex, that he's worried about being just a consciousness trapped in a shell. We could take this comment as one of the few times Glamrock Freddy is going through an existential crisis, not knowing if he's the authentic one or if there are many more animatronics like him. Perhaps this is one of the reasons why the animatronic has been failing for a long time. The design of the prototype Freddy we see in Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach Ruin has exactly the same marks as this animatronic in the bad ending where Freddy is broken into pieces. This could confirm that there was never an alternative Glamrock Freddy. This would make it more reasonable why Gregory could take the head in one of the endings. A curious detail is that if we play as Casey in Ruin and put on the Vanny mask, she will not be able to recognize Glamrock Freddy, causing him to disappear instantly when we put on the mask and enter the virtual world. Some fans speculate that this is because Freddy is a prototype and therefore is not in the mask's database. This would also explain why Glamrock Freddy does not have his own level in this difficulty. But what do you think? It is not known why Glamrock Freddy has such an aggressive behavior, but many believe that this happened because Gregory simply took his head. Although they are just animatronics, they are also aware of their existence, and Gregory simply keeping his head could have made Glamrock's Freddy body behave violently without a mind to control it. The prototype of Glamrock Freddy, as we know, does not have his head, but we can also see that he now has a huge hole inside his stomach, which he can open and close at will, making it work like a huge mouth. The gift box we find in the stomach of prototype Glamrock Freddy generated some debate, especially saying that the box is green, and when we first met Glamrock Freddy, the box inside his stomach was orange, making fans think that this is not the same animatronic. Near the end of Ruin, we can find a group of plushies, and each of these plushies contains certain openings that simulate how each animatronic died, from Roxy Wolf, who doesn't have eyes, to Chica, who has a broken beak, Monty cut in half, and of course, the Glamrock Freddy plush, which is missing its head. And those were all the curious facts. Tell me, did you find more?